Hello everyone and welcome back to our Pep Guardiola series here. Okay, so we've got a new custom view here for us. It's FM Stag's custom view, edited, heavily edited, but it is FM Stag's original view, so I'm going to leave him with the credit there. Gotta be honest though, Stag, if you're watching, if it gets any different from this, I think I've got to just name it something else at this point, because it's not quite what you had at the start. But it was originally that, and I've tweaked it from there. So we've got the players and all the information here. Then we've got just some like generic stats here. You've got your appearances, goals, assists, average rating, that kind of stuff, right? And then you've got some in-possession stats. You've got open play, key passes, progressive passes, non-penalty XG, cross-completed, dribbles per 90. Then some generic defensive ones like tackle-win ratio, header-win ratio, pressures completed, and then distance covered per 90, which isn't really in or out. It's a bit of both. So yeah, just thought I'd show you this here as a little stat for us. Or a bunch of stats for us to be looking at there. Going into the Champions League game against Milan, let's just have a quick look at this. So, open play key passes. So, I've not looked at this properly, but I assume Kevin De Bruyne is high. He's not, though, is he? Look, Bernardo Silva is much higher than De Bruyne for open play key passes. That's interesting. Theo Hernandez is very high also compared to Cancelo. And difference is the role a little bit there. So, that's interesting. The left-hand side is creating more chances from open play key passes than the right-hand side, by the looks of that. And then Jamal Musiala as well. So if you look at that, open play key passes all goes down to the left-hand side. You can see here that, if we just go over them here, that Musiala, Bernardo Silva and Theo Hernandez, three players here, are all on the left-hand side of the pitch, and they've all got more open play key passes than the right anywhere else. That's quite interesting. If we look at progressive passes here, we're looking that Theo Hernandez has quite a lot. He's quite creative at left back, looking at this, according to our stats. Bernardo Silva's got a decent amount there. Rodri's got quite a few, which you'd expect. Getting it from CDM then playing it forwards over a certain distance is going to help us out a bit there. Non-penalty XG per 90, of course. I guess all these are per 90, by the way, these stats. You then got Erling Haaland nearly at 1 XG per 90, but non-penalty, so that's pretty effective. And then dribbles per 90, let's have a look at this. So Jamal Musiala's quite high. Theo Hernandez is really high. So what you can see there, although Phil Foden is the second highest, is a lot of our creativity comes on the left-hand side, which is quite interesting. We just missed a couple of results there. I think we showed the Chelsea and Tottenham games last night. Then we beat Bournemouth 4-1. We drew with Southampton 1-1 as well, which was a poor result. But that leaves us with that as the possession charts, and in the league table. If Arsenal win the game in hand, they are still within a shout a little bit, but we've scored a lot of goals. We've actually done really well, both sides of the ball. Our goals scored is incredible. Our goals against is also incredible, which is very, very good to see. And it's probably gone about as good as I could have hoped for at this point, I think, in the first attempt. So then, today's episode is going to be AC Milan in the Champions League, and then we're going to play Liverpool away in the league. If we were to win, I think the Leicester game and the Liverpool game, I think the title will be ours, because that's one of the few games left that we could drop points in, I think. So, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. Okay, so your team is going to be then Ederson in goal with João Cancelo, Ruben Dias, Laporte, Hernandez across the back, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Musiala, and Haaland as the front three. Assistant manager says, got to impress and put on a show. Okay, we go then. Big game in the Champions League. I wish we could watch all the intro. Well, we can't watch all the intro, but I wish we could hear the music, but unfortunately we can't because of copyright. Although I do think if you play it, it just demonetizes your video, but which I'm not that bothered about that. That's fine. They could do that, but I don't want to risk getting a proper copyright strike from them. So I think I don't know. Maybe we'll try and risk it at some point in a different save. I think we'll probably try and risk it at some point. Just see what they say. I'll upload the video and just see if it copyright strikes it or not, or if it's just like a copyright claim, which is very different on YouTube, of course. And yeah, there we go. Come on, City. Early highlight here for AC Milan. They travel down the right-hand side. They lose the ball to Theo Hernandez, so that left-hand side winning the ball again here. John Musiala, who's got the second highest dribbles per night. He plays it across the Foden. He's the only one to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne takes a touch. Oh, it's got a bit laggy there for a second there. Rodri's got it back. CDM. I don't know what he's doing here. That's going to be a free kick, not a penalty. And I don't know what Rodri's actually doing there. They play long from the goal kick, goes into Tonali. Tonali has it, plays it across to Rafa Leao. Leao's going to take the ball and lose it. Now Ruben Dias gets control. Kevin De Bruyne, Foden. Got a nice little overlap from João Cancelo. That's just a nice little inverted wing back roll showing how it's different. You see how he started off wide, now he's sort of going into central area. That's sort of the little transition of the inverted wing back roll there. Jamal Musiala has it left hand side. Oh, he should have really have been able to play this back to somebody else. Bernardo Silva gets to Jamal Musiala, cuts it. Is he going to take a dig? Nope. He's going to go back to Laporte. Laporte stays on it. It's waiting for somebody. Oh, that's not good. I mean, we may have scored from that. It wasn't good, though. AC Milan with the corner. They're going to go to the near post. They would lose the header, go to the edge of the area. They play back across the stream. Diaz into Kalulu. It's going to be another corner. We're going to need like pressing traps for this game. I want the Champions League to be a little more organic, and we'll just see how we get on, at least in the first leg here. And they're playing there. Is it 4-2-3 when they're playing? Looks a bit like, 4-3-3 it is. 4-3-3. Oh, no, hang on. There's a 4-3-1. They got double pivot there, surely. Let's have a quick look. I didn't look at their team beforehand, to be honest. It came up, but I wasn't really concentrating on it. 4-2-1 it is, yeah. Kevin De Bruyne, João Cancelo nearly loses it, stays on it, got released it to Phil Foden. He does. Phil Foden cuts inside, plays an ambitious ball to Harley. Sort of got there, goes through, should have scored, stays 0-0. Ruben Diaz has the ball, plays it into Laporte. Laporte plays it into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva to Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez to Jamal Musiala. Jamal Musiala in behind to Erling Haaland. He's got to score that. Erling's had a few chances in this game, hasn't he? His non-penalty XG is 1. He's probably hit that already in this game. And he's missing his chances here. Goes up to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has it. Plays it into Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz into João Cancelo. Shoots. Oh, it was close. It is an unbelievable amount of highlights. I've actually turned this down to key, by the way, in this first half. And we're still getting relentless highlights, which shows how many chances we're creating. Surely it's got to be 1. I think this might be offside, though, from João Musiala after all these highlights. Oh, no, it's 1-0. There is onside. Okay. So Theo Hernandez, yet again, the creative player Theo Hernandez that we've seen on the stats. I don't know if I would have thought of it too much without looking at the stats. That's why stats can be so important for manager. João Musiala gets in there, very poor effort, but the keeper doesn't save it. It stays 1-0 to City. 66% possession for us in the Champions League, and that's nice, isn't it? That's good for us. Ball share is 65, so we'll create more passes than actually having a ball share, which is what I thought might happen for us. But we're doing well. We're doing well in this game. It's away from home, Champions League. I mean, I expect this to have less clear-cut chances and slightly more possession away from home in the Champions League. As long as we're then also stopping them create chances, that's okay. It can be a little more defensive with possession away from home in Europe. I don't mind that as much in that one sort of circumstance. Kevin De Bruyne is going to come off. We're going to put João Musiala into his position because I think he's going to be a nice player to put in there. We're going to put maybe Grealish. Let's put Lautaro Martinez on the left. Let's take off Bernardo Silva. Let's throw on, I think, actually, maybe we don't do that. It might have to be Dominic goes in and plays as a pivot in there. Well, I say pivot. It's like he drops in as a pivot in the build-up and then obviously attacks like an 8. Is what we're doing there. And the car will go on as well. Let's do a triple change there. Let's do that. Why not? Hernandez to Laporte. Laporte plays it to Rodri. Rodri's got some fresh players ahead of him. One of them is Lautaro Martinez, who cuts inside. Plays across to Erling Haaland, who's got to score. He's had a horrendous day. Do you know what, Erling, mate? You've been absolutely amazing for us, and I'm never going to knock you for the stuff you've done for us, but you're going to come off in today's game because I think it's the best for the team. Just get yourself in. You're fine. Just have a little think about where you could have done better. Come back next time. It's fine. But we'll do that. Let's get Jack Grealish on the wing. Possession has dropped with the changes that we've made. Yeah, so Laporte scores the header, 2-0 to City. That's probably going to be the game over, maybe even the tie over. 2-0 City, that is going to be a good result for us. Late highlight here. If it's for them, they could probably keep themselves in the tie if they score. If it's not a goal for them, it's probably going to be over. If it's a goal for us, I think it's definitely over. Kyle Walker, I don't know what he's done there. He's just gone long in behind for no reason, and Martinez has somehow missed it. That's poor from City. Stays 2-0. There we have it. 2-0 win. We'll take that. Not the most perfect performance from us, but it's in Europe, so, we haven't seen obviously a Pep Manchester City team win the Champions League yet, so there's going to be times where we're not going to be as good at times, which we can accept because it's more realistic to real life. At times they've had the odd poor performance in Europe. Obviously getting to the final was really good for them a couple of years ago. Unfortunately for them, they lost that one. Okay then, I'll see you in a few days, not for the Leicester game, but for the Liverpool game where we play away in the Premier League, and that could decide the title, I think, if we win the next 2 games. And if Arsenal drop points in the next 2 games as well, I think it'll be over. See you then. And welcome back. So off camera, we beat Leicester 5-2. 68% possession. We absolutely battered them. We rotated a few players, and the starters that did start the game, they came off anyway. So we made a few changes there. Pretty comprehensive, pretty good. And we'll take that into today's game. Liverpool away. First team is completely there. Abez obviously is unregistered. That's fine. And Gundogan is injured. Apart from that, everybody else is fit. Assistant manager says, been on a good run, got that and impressed me. Okay. They're going to play their 4-3-3 with Danny Olmo, new signing for them. Luis Diaz, Jota on the right. Nunes, no Salah. We've got to win this, really. Trent has it early on, plays it Thiago, back to Trent. So let's just have a little bit of analysis in their front three. So they're quite narrow. It is from a set piece, so let's get a couple more passes into this. They're still quite narrow. Their striker's offset a little bit, so I'm going to guess Darwin Núñez is like a deep line forward support or something like that. I can't see their roles, but I assume that's what he is, just by looking at... look how deep he's getting. Maybe even false nine. No, deep line forward support, I reckon, there. Inside forward for Jota, inverted winger probably for Luis Diaz, just judging on how narrow he is there. Oh my Christ, Edison, what have you done there? Thiago's through, Darwin Núñez is clearly offside. That's never going to count. Unless there is a mistake by the official, that is not going to count. A game with not many chances so far. They're actually down to 10 men here. De Bruyne hits the bar from miles out. Ruben Diaz still has it's going to be a corner. Yeah, I think we've had like 55% possession. They've had 0 shots on goal, I think, so far to our 1. The offside goal obviously doesn't count as a shot because the offside came before the shot. Laporte heads it, it's hit the bar. It's over again. Hit the bar twice in like a minute. Yeah, 58% possession. Still no shots for Liverpool. We are starting to dominate them here, which I would hope we would be able to do a little bit. Just judging on the fact they've got Salah missing, what we're in pretty good form. They just lost their last game as well. They played, I think, Chelsea away, and they just lost. So we've got them at a really good time. They've just lost a game. No Salah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if we lost it, that doesn't mean the title race is, gone or anything by any stretch because we're quite far ahead still. But it's more a personal thing, really. So I'd like us to beat Liverpool at Anfield. City don't tend to do that very often, and Pep especially. So, in fact, I'm not sure if they have one yet, the Pep. They've got a few draws and played well in a few games where they should have won, but they've not won, though. They seem to always find a way to not win there. And we're going to just see, can we win this? Good. Dani Olmo loses it. Now Phil Foden to Jamal Musiala goes through, goes wide, plays it to somebody. He's going to shoot. Oh, Jamal Musiala, one of my favourite players in FM for the last couple of years. What a goal, Jamal Musiala. What a goal, my friend. That is exactly the kind of stuff that he does that I don't feel like many other players do on a regular basis. Not so much that kind of strike, but somebody that's cutting on their strong foot from one side to the other and just like, oh, just take a bow, Jamal Musiala. Take a bow at Anfield. He shushes the crowd. 1-0 City. Come on. De Bruyne, far post with Diaz. 2-0. Game over. Game over. Liverpool gets out. Right, it's 2-0. So we try something different. We've got 54% possession, which isn't too bad away from home to Liverpool, right? It's not too bad. However, shall we try just maybe... Let's see, Alisson's going to play his goal kicks to Van Dijk, right? He's the ball-playing defender. Let's just take Van Dijk out the game when they build their attacks. And let's just see if that affects anything. I don't want to mess too much up because they've not had a single shot. They've had 2 shots now. Like, they're struggling in this game. Our percentage of possession's gone up a little bit there. Almost immediately after taking Van Dijk out, it's gone back down. That hasn't really made much of a difference. Obviously, what that does, though, is it does lock Haaland over to one side. They've taken off Thiago and Henderson there as they shoot from miles. I actually clicked the post there. Henderson plays the shots. Ruben Diaz, they're going to press us there. Rodri whacks it forwards. I'm not really sure why Rodri did that. Phil Foden, Rodgers again. Rodgers has it. Plays a good ball into Cancelo this time. That was definitely the pass to play. He's in space. Kevin De Bruyne has Haaland on. Doesn't quite get it through. They whack it in behind. We're going to get this easy. Edison's got so many options here. Ruben Diaz, Cancelo, Kevin De Bruyne. Foden's got Haaland. Oh, he's tried it in behind. He should have played it to his feet, really. Foden's got it again. Don't you dare do that again. Oh, he's lost it. Robertson. Jota's got it. He goes through, plays a ball into Ruben Diaz. Darwin could be offside again, I think he's offside again. The first pass was fine, but the one to Darwin Núñez I think was off. Oh, he was on, just. It's a Liverpool set piece. What is going on here? Headed away. Phil Foden doesn't quite get to it. Fabinho. Luis Diaz is in. He's going to get a shot on goal, and it's 2-2 out of nowhere. They're actually getting through to their central fielders too easily. There we see their central field players building the attacks from the beginning there and progressing the attacks through. We're going to try something a bit different here. What we're going to do is we're going to drop Haaland onto the CDM, right? CDM, Fabinho. Right, okay. We're going to make sure these 2 players actually stay on their central field players. So it's going to be Bernardo Silva goes on to Olmo, and he's going to make sure he marks him a little tighter. And then that leaves De Bruyne on the other one, whoever that is. That's going to be... Who's that going to be? Henderson. And then we're going to set the 2 wingers on their centre-backs. So the right centre-back is Konate. The left centre-back is Virgil van Dijk. So it's going to almost look like a diamond now, because Haaland's going to drop and those 2 are going to go up. So City have applied this sort of pressing trap before in games. I watched them do it against Everton at the Goodison Park, last season, I think it was, where it's not they did it every time, but it's one of the things that can happen. Right when you go 4-3-3, it can happen where if one of the strikers goes, or one of the wingers goes and be aggressive on the back line, the striker might pull onto the CDM, the other one that goes on. They've got to try and stop the passing and then into the fullback as well at the same time, right? So it's Liverpool, far post, Virgil van Dijk heads it wide. That was pretty close. Well, let's take off Laporte and put a Kanji on, Cancelo off, Walker on. In fact, have I got Stones on the bench? No, I don't. Can't even undo that. And let's do that let's get our lesser point players off the pitch. As our possession goes up a bit from our new tactical changes. Not seeing many highlights of it though, unfortunately. I put up to comprehensive to try and make sure we get some highlights. Oh, not from a set piece though. I don't want to see it from this. Don't you dare give that. Honestly, I swear to God. 3-2. De Bruyne at far post with Diaz. 2-0. Game over. Game over. Liverpool get out. Now we can see their roles, and deep line forward is what Nunez was on. About to go 4-2-4 to try and get back into the game. To our attacking tactic. Oh, Virgil van Dijk's misread it. Lautaro Martinez. Haaland. Lautaro's got to finish it. Doesn't. Corner for City. Whipped in. Headed away. That is the end of that highlight. I'm a bit annoyed right now. There's no possible way we should have thrown this game away. They were creating absolutely zero in that first half. They had 2 shots, an XG of 0.09. So frustrating to have lost this game. But we're definitely not going to win it. The best case scenario we've got is a 3-3 draw. If they score a fourth, this is game over. Bernardo's got to it, though. Bernardo Silva. That was pathetic, Bernardo. You know it. I know it. Everybody watching knows it. Akanji. Coman's got it. He's got someone on the inside who wants to use it. Goes back. Doesn't fancy that pass. Which puts Ruben Diaz in a difficult position, really. There. He's got nothing on, really. Kai Walker gets tackled. Lautaro gets it. It's going to be a highlight for us, I think. Bernardo so far post. Surely. Yes. Slots it in 3-3. Situation of the game, I'm going to basically leave everybody as they were, but Haaland's still going to stay on the CDM to sort of block that passing option for him to get out. They are finishes 3-3. I mean, I would probably have taken a draw before the game, considering it's Liverpool away and we are ahead in the title race. But with the way that went, I'm not happy with that, really. The lack of control. We've been pretty good defensively, and out of nowhere, we've conceded 5 goals in 2 games now, which is a little disappointing. The first game was that we had rotated some players. That game was not the case for that. But, yeah, that's going to do it. So that leaves us currently top of the league by a lot of points, but Arsenal have 2 games in hand. United have 1. Liverpool obviously are out of it, I think, where they are. But, yeah, that's going to do the episode. That leaves us top of the possession chart still, top of the league. And next episode will be the Carabao Cup final against United, and then the Champions League second leg against AC Milan. We'll skip out those 2 games there in the middle. That's going to do it. Thank you to all of you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll see you all next time.